Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and in today's video I'm just going to be going through my watch list and managing my open positions and maybe looking at some potential setups that might be arising, right? So before I begin, please make sure to like the video and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. That will help me grow the channel. Well, before I begin, since I normally look at fundamentals, today we're just going to start with that. And since I normally trade major currency pairs, I'm going to be looking at the dollar index as economy or the US economy and see what I can take away from that and trade off of that. So if I can go, and I already pulled out this one right here, trading economics. You can go check it out. You see it has everything you need: indexes, stocks, bond, crypto, and everything. So on this video specifically, I'm going to be looking at the US dollar index, right? So you can go and read this on your own, but essentially it is saying that the US is gaining a lot of power, a lot of momentum, since we were expecting more rate cuts but we didn't get them, and the Fed is saying that we won't be getting any rate cuts in 2025. Well, we will be getting rate cuts, but not as much as people anticipated. So that's going to be signaling a lot of strength for the US dollar, right? Like I said, you can go and read out this thing on your own if you want more clarity and also other stuff right here. So if we go back to our charts, you can see already from the fundamentals, you can see it's also true on the technical side, because you can see that US dollar has been making these higher highs and higher lows consistently. So obviously those news just came out like last week. So I think this was the push right here from what we heard from the Fed not cutting rates as much as people expected. So this was the push, and I'm expecting this push to continue. That's why you see this template right here on this support area. And then, like I said, when you zoom out, you can see that we've been making swing lows, swing highs, and so on. So this is a really clear uptrend in my opinion. I mean, in fact, it should be everyone's opinion because it's really clean to see. So I'm expecting price to break this swing high right here and then continue to the upside. While I look at this US dollar index, I will be trading currency pairs that are correlating or related to the US dollar. And the first one is going to be the Euro JPY. Now you might say, well, there's no USD there. Well, obviously the Japanese yen is a safe haven currency and the dollar index or the US dollar is not. So basically every time when the US dollar gains a lot of power, the Japanese yen mostly loses, because people are taking out their money away from the Japanese yen, taking it to risk assets like the US dollar and the stocks and indices, something like that, right? And also another thing, the economy of Japan or the Japanese yen is not really looking good at the moment. So I am expecting a continuation to the upside, and the euro is not also doing great, but it's holding in better than the Japanese yen, right? So as you can see here, I have a position running and I am expecting a continuation to the upside. Like you can see right here, I'm expecting a continuation to the upside, since like I said, the risk assets are being more favorable. So people are taking their money to those risk assets, and Japanese yen is not a risk asset. So I'm expecting continuation to the upside, and also the economy is not performing as good as it used to be, right? So this is the first one right here, and let's move on to the USD JPY. Like I said, the dollar is gaining some momentum and the Japanese yen not so much. So I'm still expecting a continuation of this uptrend right here. I wanted to move my stop loss to break even, but I realized I did put this stop loss here for a reason. So if price does continue to the downside, I will stop out and also try again on this major swing low. And if it doesn't work out, I'll try again here on this major swing low right here. So basically I have 1, 2, 3 chances of trying to catch this move to the upside that I'm expecting. But if it doesn't work out, that's why I put my risk relatively low. So I am expecting a continuation to the upside on this one. And as you can see, if I zoom out right here, this support area has been tested multiple times. If I can zoom out, you can see right here it has also been support. It was broken, came back to be resistant, and then now support again. So I am expecting this one to continue to the upside. And then moving on to wow, okay, this is doing good. Moving on to USD CHF, or the US dollar Swiss franc. As you can see also right here, we are in a nice uptrend. Like I said, the dollar has more power relative to most currencies, so I am expecting a continuation to the upside here. If we do see a break of this swing high right here, I will trail my stop. Maybe if you see something like this, I will trail my stop from where it's at right now, and maybe put it somewhere here and continue to trail my stops if it does allow me to do so. Other than that, as you can see, we've broken this previous swing high right here. We came back to test it. We broke this swing high also right here, and then we came back to test the lows. As long as we didn't break these lows right here, I'm still expecting a continuation to the upside. So this really looks like a nice trade, and if it does break to the upside and then comes back to retest, I am willing to add another position so that I can maximize my gains instead of adding to losing positions. And going to indices, I'm only looking at German 40 since I have a position going right here. And the reason I'm in this one is because of the VIX. If I can go to it. On my previous video, I did mention to you guys that every time when the VIX spikes up, usually the indices will have a sell-off, right? And every time it goes down or is trading on these low areas right here, we do expect indices to perform really good, since it will be a risk-on environment. And that's why also the Japanese yen is so weak at the moment, because of the risk-on that's happening in the market. So going back to my indices or my position that I have right now, I'm still expecting a continuation to the upside. As you can see on this template that I did the last video, I will be expecting a continuation to the upside and maybe continue to trail my stop in profit if it does allow me to do so, because we are in a nice uptrend. Our trend line right here is being supported, and we came back to a major swing high, came back to retest it. And if you also put moving averages, you can also see that we are still respecting those moving averages, indicating a wave to the upside. Unless if maybe we start breaking them, maybe the first 100 moving average and then the 200 moving average, that would be a strong indication to the downside. Other than that, I'm still staying on the long side, because I'm still expecting price to continue making is it all-time highs here? I'm not sure, but anyways, I'm still expecting price to continue and break this major swing high right there. And then moving on to another currency pair, which is the Euro USD. Like I said, going back to the first one that we analyzed, the DXY. The DXY has a lot of power at the moment, and usually the DXY also trades off how other currency pairs are doing, how its competitors are doing. So at the moment, when you see the DXY going to the upside, usually most of the time, these other currencies right here, like the euro or the CHF, all of those stuff will be doing well, not so good, right? So I'm still expecting a continuation to the upside. I missed this move right here. Well, in fact, I didn't miss it. I didn't take this trade right here because I was expecting price to push a little bit further to the upside and then see some rejection wicks or any candle, any form of candle that's going to be indicating the strength to the downside, and then enter that position to the downside. But we didn't see it, so I'm still expecting price to come back again to push to come back to this resistant area, and then a continuation to the upside, as long as we do not break this swing high right here, right? So I will be looking to short again if we do not see this one holding. If we come back to these areas, as long as we don't break it, I will be willing to short Euro USD and continue to the downside right now. And also, if you look at retail traders, right, a lot of retail traders right here, they are busy buying this one. They expecting it to continue to the upside, or maybe they are trying to call it a bottom, right? So they've been shorting Euro USD for some weird reason, expecting it to continue to the upside while it's in a downtrend. That's why I always say, don't fight the trend, but always be on the side of the trend. And this information that I'm talking about, you can find them on Forex Factory and other stuff. If if you go to the internet, you can actually find what retail traders are doing, and most of the time I always go against them because they lose, and we already know the stats, right? They're always losing. Not always, but most of the time they are losing. So I do not want to be part of the crowd. I also want to make some money, so I'm going to be going against them most of the time. And then moving on to GBP JPY. On this one, I have a long position, like I said, risk on season. So I'm expecting the yen to be weaker relative to its peers. So I'm expecting a continuation to the upside as long as we respect this swing low right here, and you can see that we've been on an downtrend right here, and we previously broke it right here, and then we continue to the upside. So I'm still expecting this one to continue going up and maybe breaking this swing high right and a continuation to the upside. And then moving on to silver right here. On silver, I'm going to start on the daily time frame. On the daily time frame right here, what I want you to notice is how we've been making these higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and higher high. But when we came back here right here, we were supposed to make another higher high if it's a nice uptrend, right? But we did not see that, and then we saw a continuation to the downside. But as long as we held this swing low right here, I was expecting price to continue to the upside, but unfortunately we did not see that. We saw price creating some sort of a head and shoulder pattern right here, and then we broke below these wicks right here on the swing lows, right? So that was an indication for me that actually silver is getting weaker, and since China is not also performing well, and also it's a large consumer of silver, I'm expecting price to continue to the downside. And also on the price action side, we saw a close below these wicks right here, or below this major swing low right here. So I'm expecting another swing high to form right here and a swing low to continue to the downside. That's why I'm on this position, but obviously I took this one on the 2-hour time frame. On the 2-hour time frame, as you can see already, on the 4-hour time frame, we saw a rejection on this resistant area right here. So on the 2-hour, it was also even clear. That's why I took that position. So I'm expecting a continuation to the upside, breaking this swing low right here and continue to the downside. And then moving on to our last analysis of the day, which is going to be Bitcoin. On Bitcoin, as you can see here, it's not really looking hot at the moment, and we saw price continue to the downside. I was expecting it to bounce and continue to the upside, but clearly we're not seeing that. And I did put this stop loss here for a reason, because I know I cannot be right every time. Sometimes I'm going to take losses, and this might be one of it, but I'm happy because I did manage my risk appropriately and I'm following my plan. So on this one, I was still expecting price to continue to the upside, right? Since it's a risk on environment at the moment, I was expecting price to continue to the upside, but clearly we're not seeing that. So if price does continue, I will stop out and maybe look for opportunities elsewhere. Other than that, if we do see a bounce and a continuation to the upside, hey man, continue to trail my stops and make some profits on this one, right? Other than that, I think that's it for today, and thank you guys for tuning in. And if you like the video, please make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you on the next one.